President Trump wants lower interest rates to help cut America's massive debt. But the final decision belongs to Fed Chair Jerome Powell. The Fed's upcoming decision in October could shake not only the U.S. markets, but also gold prices and the global economy. Let's break it down in simple terms. Trump wants to supercharge U.S. economic growth again. America's national debt is approaching $35 trillion. And the higher the interest rates, the more expensive it becomes to manage that debt. In his view, if the Fed cuts rates, borrowing becomes cheaper, the economy grows faster, and the pressure on the U.S. dollar eases. That's why he's been publicly calling out the Federal Reserve. Jerome Powell keeps saying one thing: the Fed doesn't follow politics. It follows data. Ahead of the October decision, inflation is still running above the Fed's 2% target. Unemployment remains relatively low, but economic growth is slowing. So, Powell basically has three choices: hold rates steady, to watch inflation more closely; small rate cut, to support markets but stay cautious; aggressive cut, to boost growth but risk weakening the dollar. Whatever Powell decides will send ripples through the entire global economy. If the Fed decides to cut rates in October, gold will likely react first. Gold. Lower rates mean lower returns on the dollar. A weaker dollar pushes investors toward gold, the classic safe haven. That could spark a new rally in gold prices. U.S. dollar. A rate cut typically weakens the dollar against other major currencies. That could trigger big capital flows in and out of emerging markets. Stock markets. In the short term, markets usually love rate cuts. Stocks tend to rise. But if inflation comes back stronger, that excitement can fade fast. The Fed's decision doesn't stay within U.S. borders. Europe and Asia. The ECB and other central banks often adjust their own policies after the FED moves. In Asia, currencies like the Chinese yuan might strengthen, which could hurt exports. Commodities, gold, oil, and other metals could all see increased demand if the dollar keeps falling. Trump wants lower rates. Powell stays cautious. As the October decision approaches, the markets are holding their breath. If the Fed cuts rates, we might see a major move in gold. But if Powell surprises the markets and stays firm, things could get unpredictable fast. What do you think? Should the Fed cut rates or hold steady? And how will gold react? Let me know your thoughts in the comments.